don't think we ever wanted to, to be like a boy band and all on the cover. Like, hey, I think we definitely enjoyed like the mystique that it gave.
What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. It's right down there and it's free. That enables us to keep coming to y'all as often as possible with as many interviews as possible. So please hit that subscribe button, like our content, share, talk about it, be about it, each one, teach one. And we appreciate your support in getting us this far. And if you haven't already, also please join our membership so we can keep bringing you guys new and different stuff. Now, today for cover story, we have the honor and privilege of being joined by Fatlip. Thanks for coming through, sir.
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Yes, yes. So Fatlip and I are going to be doing the Pharcyde's Bizarre Ride to the Pharcyde. Now, this album cover is one of the most striking ones in rap history. So first off, Fatlip, I wanted to know, how did you guys agree to not use like a photograph or more of a standard thing and go with like the drawing or the painting or however that artwork ended up being?
Yeah, no, we were all, we probably at one point considered using some photos. We probably took some photos and tried it and then wasn't satisfied with it, but we were definitely wanting something unique, wanting something special and something that was going, just set this album off, and so Delicious Vinyl actually had a lot of really artistic people. And they had a really cool art department, Delicious Vinyl. A lot of guys from Europe and things like that. So, but it was, I think actually Booty Brown. That's what somebody said. Booty Brown actually bought Slick and Den, who were the artists who made that painting. He actually bought them through, and I remember they were giving us a bunch of like ideas, and they were like crazy ideas, like kind of like gnarly ideas. We were like, we don't know if we want to eyeball with the syringe in it. I don't know, because he was going by the far side. He was like, yo, we need something way out. And they definitely gave us a lot of way out stuff that for even us. We were like, maybe, I don't know about that one. And then they hit us with the roller coaster. And when I first seen it, I was like, well, they said, yo, let's do some animation. Let's try animation. And then, I was like, yeah, let's do some animation. And then when I first seen the animation, I don't know. I was like, damn, man, why you make me look like a crackhead? And then it took me a minute to really like it, to be honest with you. But that was just my only image, because but all the rest of the stuff, the roller coaster and all the detail with the amusement park and us going into the entrance of the wildness, it's incredible, man. They did a phenomenal job. Just the colors, the mood of it, the dark purple. It was really fitting of the music, that we were making. So that was a no-brainer going with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I remember when I first saw it, as I've talked about with some of the other cover stories I've done, Schoolie D drew his album covers. Too Short, of course, had Short Dogs in the House. Just Ice had drawn some of his album covers or had
Yeah.
illustrations. But when I saw this, it was so unusual because you guys weren't really even prominently featured on it, as far as really getting to look to see you very well. So
Right.
how did that affect each one of the four of you initially? Do you guys remember, or do you remember talking with Trey or Monty or Booty Brown, like, wait a minute, we're not even barely on the cover. Does that matter? How did
No,
that
I
affect you?
think we were okay with that. I don't think we ever wanted to, to be like a boy band and all on the cover, like, hey, I think we definitely enjoyed like the mystique that it gave, because it kind of it kind of made the name itself stand out more. So, and when people were listening to the album, I think they enjoyed trying to figure out whose voice was who, because without all of the information of who exactly was who, you were able to get into the music more without, even knowing who was who, So, and then later on, like again, like I said, until Passing Me By came out, no one knew one person from the other. So, I always think that that type of mystery and mystique helps for the imagination. You know, when you hear Booty Brown's voices, you're imagining, whatever your mind conjures up, and I think that just makes the experience more, fantastic.
Yes,
You
because I
know,
remember for me it was the Your Mama video trying to figure out who was who, and I was just like, man, this is crazy. Now
yeah.
for the cover, back to the cover with Bizarre Ride to the Far Side. When did it like initially right off the bat? Did you know you were going into a vagina like that?
Nah. I didn't. I don't think I saw the. No, I don't think we saw any of that. At first, I think that it took a lot of people, like maybe like several looks to really just take in everything, because it wasn't just the vagina. It was some boobs up here, and it was the bubble. She had a bubble head with a smile. I mean, it was a whole roller coaster woman, and it was so well done to where there were so many other things that were captured, that were taking attention with the eye. That was like, and that whole vagina was like right in front of you, and you didn't even notice it. It was
No,
like, oh,
it took me months before I was looking at it again, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what is
yeah.
this?
They did a phenomenal job on that because, but yeah, but like I say, I love like the sky above it, just the move, the purple clouds, and it was because it's a mood, really. Like the mood of it was just perfect. I think it was like a lot of muted colors, like yellows, like muted yellow and green, and yeah, it was ill.
And did you ever talk to the artist about it or like laugh about it later or
I might have mentioned something about. I'm pretty sure that I mentioned something about the way I looked because I didn't like it at first. I didn't, because I was depicted as something that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting it to look like that because we looked like almost zombified, right? Like we look like um that's a whole world that we're in. Like we stayed in the amusement park for like a month and just we're on Molly for like a month at Magic Mountain or something. But I might have mentioned something because I don't think I was expecting that. But but again, it just blended so well with. I guess they tapped into. They were looking at us and just tapped into our overall like vibe and just our whole spirit and everything. Like it was perfect for it was just some lo-fi like carnival shit, man. And I guess that's how the music sounded to them.
yeah,
So
and did you guys give any input or was it just like there it is
nah,
and you're like, oh, that's perfect?
yeah, we told them nothing. We didn't have any suggestions for them at all. That was all done off of their inspiration. Were they listening to the album while they were doing it? I gotta find out. I wanna know because Slick is the name of the artist. It was Slick and Den. They had a company called Fucked, Fuct, um, and they're still around. I see Slick on Instagram, so I'm gonna hit him up and ask him was he listening to the music while he did the painting.
Okay. And then
Yeah,
who first showed it to you? Was it one of them? Was it Mike Ross from Delicious Vinyl? Was it somebody
I think
else?
it was them. I mean, we worked closely with everyone that was a part of the album. So, yeah, I definitely no because they were showing us a bunch of ideas before they came up with that one. They were showing because a part also, the dog. I mean, the fire hydrant pissing on the dog. That was going to be an like one of the early choices or early ideas before even the roller coaster. That was going to be the album cover, but then we just ended up using that as a logo. But they were all like, you know, bizarre. I guess they were going by the album title.
Yeah,
You
because I also thought I didn't really make a strong correlation, but I always also wondered if it was some of the color schemes had anything to do with the Lakers being in LA and all that stuff with the purple and the yellow and stuff.
Perhaps, yeah, there was a lot of purple in there. Purple and yellow, yeah. But I feel like it just fit like at the time, like we were like into minor chords and just like dark and moody, that was just how we got down. That was our overall, vibe back then. So
For sure. So
yeah.
what do you think looking back is the legacy of the Bizarre Ride to the Far Side cover?
I mean, a cover that perfectly matched the music, like a carnival, a bazaar, twisted, you know. I mean, when I tell you this, I look at that graduation cover, I'll be like, yo, those colors, that looks familiar. That feels familiar. I don't know.
I could see that.
Because
Also,
when you think about it, like the way the movement and like the motion, like the way the bear is like, you know, jettison off in one direction, and the skies, and there's a lot of similarities. So
I could see that. And
uh,
the carnival, one of my favorite songs that wasn't a single is I'm That Type of Brother on there.
yeah,
Cause the thing that always made me think of the carnival aspect was the excuse me. I was like, that feels to me like the cover because of the movement, the motion, kind of like the weird song structure of it or
yeah,
the so
the
anyway,
bounce, yeah,
yeah, that swing it had to it.
yeah. That was our girlfriends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was funny. I remember that.
And what made you want to put them on that song?
Just they were all a part of it. You know what I mean? They were all a part of what was happening even before we had a record deal. Like they knew, like I'm like they knew something was gonna happen. Like when we were at that place, South Central unit, before we had a record deal, there was so much like creative energy going on. It was a fun place to be, and music was being made. We were learning stuff from people that had actually been in the industry. Reggie Andrews, but not only Reggie Andrews, but he introduced us to all. Uh, for instance, Sarita Wright, who wrote "Signed, Sealed, Delivered," Stevie Wonder's first hit. She used to come by and give us vocal lessons and give us like advice on just life and the music industry, and spirituality and all type of things. So it was like we all knew something was happening, but like and everybody that was a part of our lives was involved in it. Like pretty much our girlfriends who dropped us off at the studio every day. So yeah. Um but yeah, I remember, like I think I wrote that. Yeah, I wrote that. Um and then when we heard it back, I was like, oh shit, that's gonna work. It was fun, man.
It sounds like it was fun for
Yeah,
sure.
it was fun, just like discovering people's talents, like hidden talents. Like I didn't know my girlfriend had vocals like that. Like that's classic.
No,
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite songs for sure.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. Well, Fatlip, thanks so much for coming through the cover story, man. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it, brother.
In the beginning, hip-hop was ruled by the East Coast. Then the West Coast rose to prominence thanks to gangster rap.
Straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube.
Hip-hop changed the world. Gangster rap changed the narrative.
I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world.
And then changed the world again.
Cause I'll come and take your life away.
The history of gangster rap features unheard stories, unseen photos and documents, all with exclusive interviews from the founders and players who shaped gangster rap.
I think a real gangster rapper has to scare you a little bit.
The history of gangster rap written by veteran rap journalist Soren Baker. in stores now.
Yo, what up? This is DJ Quick. Be sure to pick up my homeboy Soren Baker's book, The History of Gangster Rap, if you really want to know what we do.